How to please a woman. A group of girlfriends are on vacation when they see a 5-story hotel with a sign that reads, "For women only." Since they are without their boyfriends and husbands, they decide to go in. The bouncer, a very attractive guy, explains to them how it works. "We have 5 floors. Go up floor by floor, and once you find what you are looking for, you can stay there. It's easy to decide since each floor has a sign telling you what's inside." So they start going up, and on the first floor the sign reads, "All the men on this floor are short and plain." The friends laugh and without hesitation move on to the next floor. The sign on the second floor reads, "All the men here are short and handsome." Still, this isn't good enough, so the friends continue on up. They reach the third floor and the sign reads, "All the men here are tall and plain." They still want to do better, and so, knowing there are still 2 floors left, they continued on up. On the 4th floor, the sign is perfect, "All the men here are tall and handsome." The women get all excited and are going in when they realize that there is still 1 floor left. Wondering what they are missing, they head on up to the 5th floor. There they find a sign that reads, "There are no men here." This floor was built only to prove that there is no way to please a woman. The statue. A woman was in bed with her lover when she heard her husband opening the front door. "Hurry," she said. "Stand in the corner." She quickly rubbed baby oil all over him and then she dusted him with talcum powder. "Don't move until I tell you to," she whispered. "Just pretend you're a statue." "What's this, honey?" the husband inquired as he entered the room. "Oh, it's just a statue," she replied nonchalantly. "The Smiths bought one for their bedroom. I liked it so much, I got one for us too." No more was said about the statue, not even later that night when they went to sleep. Around 2 in the morning the husband got out of bed, went to the kitchen and returned a while later with a sandwich and a glass of milk. "Here," he said to the statue, "eat something. I stood like an idiot at the Smiths for 3 days and nobody offered me so much as a glass of water." Wisdom teeth. One day a man walks into a dentist's office and asks how much it will cost to extract wisdom teeth. $80, the dentist says. "That's a ridiculous amount," the man says. "Isn't there a cheaper way?" "Well," the dentist says, "if you don't use an anesthetic, I can knock it down to $60. "That's still too expensive," the man says. "Okay," says the dentist. "If I save on anesthesia and simply rip the teeth out with a pair of pliers, I could get away with charging $20. "Nope," moans the man, "it's still too much." Says the dentist, scratching his head. "If I let one of my students do it for the experience, I suppose I could charge you just $10. "Marvelous," says the man, "book my wife for next Tuesday." Pray. A guy was walking along when suddenly he got his foot caught in the railroad tracks. He tried to get it out, but it was really stuck. He heard a noise and turned around to see a train coming. He panicked and started to pray, "God, please get my foot out of these tracks and I'll stop drinking." Nothing happened, it was still stuck, and the train was getting closer. He prayed again, "God, please get my foot out and I'll stop drinking and cussing." Still nothing, and the train was just seconds away. He tried it one more time, "God, please, if you get my foot out of the tracks, I'll quit drinking, cussing, smoking and fornicating." Suddenly his foot shot out of the tracks and he was able to dive out of the way in the nick of time. He got up, dusted himself off, looked toward heaven and said, "Thanks anyway, God, I got it myself." Only when he drinks. A young man and his wife were driving a car along a winding road at a speed limit of 55 miles per hour. The police pulled the guy back. The police officer said, "You were there for about 70 minutes 55? "It wasn't me," the guy said. "Maybe your radar picked up someone else or something, but my speedometer was set at 55. The wife spoke up, "I'm going 70 miles. I told you to go 20 miles, if you don't slow down you'll be stopped." "Shut." The guy muttered. "Can I see your proof of insurance?" The police asked. "Sure, my card is right in my wallet." Wife said, "That card doesn't work and I know it. You have not paid the previous insurance premium and the company has sent you a cancellation notice." "Fuck," the guy yelled. "Can you be quiet for once?" "Ma'am," the policeman said, "does this guy always talk to you like this?" The woman replied, "Are not. Only when he drinks." Friend for dinner. "Honey," said this husband to his wife, "I invited a friend home for supper." "What? Are you crazy? The house is a mess, I haven't been shopping, all the dishes are dirty, and I don't feel like cooking a fancy meal." "I know all that. Then why did you invite a friend for supper?" "Because the poor fool is thinking about getting married." Neighbor's wife. In broad daylight, a group of robbers broke into the rich leader's house, tied up his wife and stabbed the husband with a knife, shouting, "Where are the gold, silver, jewels and money? Quickly bring them out." The husband tearfully begged, "Please, I beg you to let her go. You can take whatever you want." The robber exclaimed, "Oh, do you love your wife that much?" The homeowner tried his best to answer, No, she is my neighbor's wife. My wife is coming home soon." Refugee. In Italy, an elderly man went to a priest and confessed. "Forgive me, Father," he sobbed. "During the war, I hid a refugee in my attic." "Well," the priest replied, "that's not a sin." "But," the man admitted, "I made him pay rent." "That wasn't so nice," the priest said, "but you were putting yourself at risk." "Oh, thank you, Father," the man said. "But I have one more question." "What is it?" asked the priest. "Do you think I should tell him the war is over?" Romance. An older couple was lying in bed one night. The husband was falling asleep, but the wife felt romantic and wanted to talk. She said, "You used to hold my hand when we were courting." Wearily he reached across, held her hand for a second, then tried to get back to sleep. A few moments later she said, "Then you used to kiss me." Mildly irritated, he reached across, gave her a peck on the cheek and settled down to sleep. 30 seconds later she said, "Then you used to bite my neck." Angrily, he threw back the bed covers and got out of bed. "Where are you going?" she asked. "To get my teeth." How did you die? Two men waiting at the pearly gates strike up a conversation. The first man asks the second, "So, how do you die?" "I froze to death," says the second. "That's awful," says the first man. "How does it feel to freeze to death?" "It's very uncomfortable at first," says the second man. "You get the shakes, and you get pains in all your fingers and toes. But eventually, it's a very calm way to go. You get numb and you kind of drift off, as if you were sleeping." "How about you? How did you die?" "I had a heart attack," says the first man. "You see, I knew my wife was cheating on me, so one day I showed up at home unexpectedly. I ran up to the bedroom and found her alone, knitting. I ran down to the basement, but no one was hiding there, either. I ran up to the second floor, but no one was hiding there either. I ran as fast as I could to the attic. And just as I got there, I had a massive heart attack and died." The second man shakes his head. "That's so ironic," he says. "What do you mean?" asks the first man. "If you had only stopped to look in the freezer, we'd both still be alive." Thank you for your listening.